All right, what's up? It's it's skullduggery, and tonight's story is tonight it's my story, and the question is describe the home or homes and neighborhood or neighborhoods in which you grew up in. And I was born in Chester. Uh, I grew up in two neighborhoods in Chester. In Chester, I grew up in MLK with my grandma, my maternal grandma, and it's right down the street from 7th and Tillman, right in front of the projects, the Lamoken Village, LV, Alleyway Boys, and then my with my paternal grandparents, and my mom and dad. My paternal grandparents gave my mom and dad a house on 3rd Street, and so I lived on 3rd Street, and I liked it. But I as a kid, maybe like I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 or around there. It had to be 5 because I think my sister was born then. 5 or 6 around there, and I grew up traveling all around the United States. You know what I mean? So we would live in a place, and I go to a different place, and I go to a different place, and we started off in like living in poor places. Not like it was like poor, but well, it was poor. You know what I mean? When you're poor, you're poor. I remember, and we used to live in apartments. I remember in Utah, my mom used to go to the church and get the blocks of cheese and all the cereals with the black and white cereal and stuff, and then the imitation cereals and stuff. But as I got older, my parents, and then we moved to Alaska. Well, I think before we moved to Alaska, my father got a job as assistant kitchen manager at Chi Chi's in Utah, and then we started having it a little. We had it better. That's when my dad started buying BMWs. First, he started buying BMWs every year. Then he started buying Mercedes Benzes every year, and I think we elevated up to upper middle class when we got to Alaska because he became the kitchen manager. So we had a house, and I think we first started with apartments there, but just till we got a house. Then we got the house, and first we had a house on Arctic and 71st, but then we moved to First we had our Arctic and 72nd, and then we moved out of that house to the house on 71st, and I liked them both. The first one, we had a fireplace. That was our first time having a fireplace. Like, oh, that's so crazy. We got to I had just got out of the Boy Scouts learning how to start a fire, so I was like delegated as the fire starter. And then we moved to the other house that had a sauna in it, so I thought that was cool. At first, got to have like me in the sauna, and my dad built a shed in the back for our. I had to mow the lawn every week, the front and the back, and it was like ridiculous. And then in the wintertime, he built the shed so he can put the lawnmower and the snow blower inside there. At first, we used to have like, first I was doing shovels, and I was thinking the other day that first I had snow shovels to shovel the driveway. I always had to shovel the driveway if it snows. It's Alaska, like it's gonna snow like a lot all the time. And I was just thinking about it. My sister sent me a picture of how it's starting to snow, and it just started reminding me that as soon as it started to snow, my dad always wanted me to go out and do the driveway, even if it was snowing. So if it was snowing, I would clean it, and then like in like a few hours you have to go back out there and clean it again. And I did some jokes about that. I wrote some jokes about that, but what was I saying? So but that okay, so when we first got there, I had to do it all manually, just straight shovel, boom, shovel, boom. Then he started getting bigger shovels that are easier, but then he got this one shovel. Oh man, and that's why I wanted to talk about. He had this shovel the handle's right here, and then it goes down like this, but then it turns and goes down like this, and then has the like the scooper thing right there, and he told me it was for it's for people that's supposed to help people's back, And as I was younger, like I tried it and it was like even worse. It's just worse. Everything is worse about it. So I just never used it. Then we got older and he got the one where you plug it in and you just push it and it shovels it out. We got a bigger one. First we got the little one, then we got the bigger one. Then I think he got the driving one. The thing was that my father, through this whole time, while we're in Alaska, he's trying to be an entrepreneur. The only thing that my father had problems with was he couldn't stay focused. He would get, I think he would get totally into something and then he would just get distracted and go on to something else. And he would totally get into something and he couldn't stay consistent with it. And he had a lawnmower business. My grandfather had a lawnmower business too. That's why I never I don't feel like it's a disrespectful job. And there's also sometimes when I'm on the streets and like I'm driving and there's a truck, one of those lawnmower trucks in front of me, I get really mad because they're going slow. But then I remember that my grandpa me and him used to drive around there and doing his lawns. And I think like whoever it is, like, had to give him compassion because that's like what I want from my grandpa, you know what I mean? But it was like, it was a good job, you know what I mean? And my dad had the snow machine business too, snow blowing business. So we got the driving one, but then he tried to get bigger and he got an F-150 and he put a shovel on the front of that shit. And he was like, drop that shit, drop that shit. My dad got a 350 too, 350. Low key, I accidentally wrecked it. I was riding with Dawn one time, and I was he said I could use it. And I was trying to impress her, and we're on some street, and I couldn't see the back, so I had turned and I hit into a car, and it scraped the whole side of it. Like, dang! I think I was turning this way because I tried to hide it up, and I never told him. And later he brought it up. He's like, "Someone wrecking my car." I was like, just like so like, oh man, I can't believe that happened and shit. This is his favorite too. He loved, oh my god, if you ever just one time my sister closed the door with just grabbing the door and closing. My dad got so upset. Use the handle on all of his cars. It was such a big deal if you did anything to any of his cars. One time a guy broke his window in the back of Cheese when he was working, and he went home. He was crying. He was like crying. I never do nothing to nobody. You ruined my car. I don't never do nothing to nobody. He became like something like, who is this guy? Who are you right now? You just threatened all of us.